Hello everyone, this is Minnesota Music Mom, Karen Davis, and I have had some requests from viewers to show you a tour of our church. So I thought I would do that today. It's a beautiful fall day. Here is Emmanuel Evangelical Lutheran Church of Buffalo, Minnesota. And I'll just give you, it's out in the country, about 4 miles from town. And this would be a lot prettier in the summertime, but but here's the start of the tour. Okay, there's the parsonage. And then we will go ahead and go inside, and I will show you a tour for those of you who wanted to see the church. All right, so we walk in here, and we have an elevator. And this is like a lower welcoming area. We've got the masks, of course, for COVID. Free masks for anyone who forgot theirs or doesn't have one. My sister-in-law makes the masks. They're like I said, they're free. She has made, I don't even know how many, over 1,500 masks and different styles. And the stained glass windows were redone in 2004 when we remodeled the church. What they did is they took apart the windows, took them all apart completely, every piece, and they cleaned them and redid them so that, and protected them now. On the outside there's protection so that they can't be broken. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't show you. I'm going down a hallway here. This goes to the basement, and along the wall we have articles that have been written about our church. This one was when we were celebrating our centennial, and there are all the pastors that have served. Now our current pastor is not pictured on here yet, but we started having pastors back in 1890. And it was, horse and buggy, so the pastor would serve a variety of congregations in the area, and we might not see the pastor for 4 or 5 weeks. Here is where they were redoing the pictures. The stained glass windows. A newspaper article. Here is a newspaper article about the sounds of the church bell, and I'll tell you where that is, where we do that. We have the bell in the... The bell we have for the church, years ago we used to ring the bell, and then for whatever reason it stopped. It would be during the Lord's Prayer. I'm not explaining myself very well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to walk and talk at the same time. It's not working. All right. These are greeting cards, and then we have, I'll tell you about the bell in a minute. Okay, I need to concentrate. Here we have buckets for donations of, the box tops, for education and that sort of thing. Someone made a little model of our church, the old church before it was remodeled. That's what it used to look like, so that is neat. Here is an article about when the parsonage was dedicated. The parsonage, the original one, and then when it was remodeled. And here is a article about some blankets and things we made for a care center. And then we have plates, and we have books, cookbooks. We've done 2 different cookbooks, and those are for sale for whoever wants a cookbook. There is our kitchen, and here's an article about the rededication of our organ that was revamped, restored. And then this is about Jesus Cares. And here is Traugott and Margaretta Schmidt. They donated the land for the church years and years ago. So the kitchen, and then in there is the basement area. I won't spend too much time here. I know you probably want to go upstairs. Okay, my sister-in-law also takes care of the decorations. We changed that. That's now for fall. It'll change for Christmas, and then for spring. Coat rack. We go upstairs. And we have some bulletins here. This is for tomorrow's service. And this right here is my all-time favorite. It's such a beautiful picture. And we have the light shining on it all the time. It is just, you know, if you really look at it, it just, the eyes really look like they're so realistic. This picture is so realistic. I love it. Okay, and this actually rolls out. This island here rolls out, and then when we have treats and so forth, we can have them on there. All right, there's some more stained glass windows that were redone in 2004. So this is the upper visitation area, and then we have a little library. Okay, and here we have brochures about different topics, more bulletins, and then here is the worship area. And now I wanted to show you the pipe room, but the light isn't working in there, so I did contact the person that that takes care of that. So that will be a different video. That'll be a different tour. I want to do the pipe room for you, which is there, through that door. Okay, I can open the door and show you, but I can't do a tour right now because the light doesn't work. And as you can see, you'd have to, that's where all the organ pipes are, in that room, and you have to crawl through there. So I guess I will be doing that in a video at some point. Crawling through there. All right, and there is the organ up in the upper right corner of your screen. And then we have the chimes. And these are not, people think, you know, that these are the pipes, but those are, the pipes are behind this wall, and then the sound comes out through that screen. All right, maybe I'm going too fast here for the video. I'm flinging you around and swinging you around too fast. Okay, and through that door, that goes down to the basement as well. And then there's just a little room off to the right there for the pastor. Okay, right now we have the cords due to the COVID situation. People distance themselves. Of course, we have to have social distancing and masks, and so we have the cords so that people sit every other bench, and within the bench need to distance themselves. Also, we have not been using the hymnals now because of COVID, so we print out the whole service in a bulletin, and then the people take that bulletin with them. We do not use the hymnals. All right, then here is where we go to get to the organ. So we'll go up the stairs. Now this is actually not a real stained glass window because it used to be to the outside, but now it's to the inside. So what my sister-in-law did, I'm talking about Julie, she made this design so it looks like a stained glass window in the spot where there used to be a stained glass window. That's a real one. Okay, and then when I record the sermon, I sit here in this bench, and when I'm playing, I still record the sermon. I race across the balcony and get to this point here so that I am by the speaker. And when I'm not able to come to church for whatever reason, then the minister puts his laptop on here and records the sermon. Okay, so here the hymnals are still out here because usually no one sits up here. Everybody usually sits downstairs. All right. So here's a little alcove, and that is where we ring the church bell. Okay, so let me continue with that here with about the church bell. Years ago, years and years and years ago, we used to ring the church bell. It was before my time, before I was born. Used to ring the church bell before or during. Okay, let me concentrate on what I'm saying. During the Lord's Prayer, and that tradition came from Germany. Okay, the congregation. This congregation is really originated from German ancestors, and they brought that tradition of ringing the church bell during the Lord's Prayer. They brought that back with them. Now, I did some reading up on it. This was back in 2013. I had visited the Wells Church. We're Wells, Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod, and I had visited the church in Rockford with my cousin. And the organist played the chimes, just one chime, during the Lord's Prayer. It was when the Lord's Prayer started, and then when it got to give us our daily bread, and then at the end. And I said to my cousin, what is that? Why is she ringing the chimes? Well, it turns out that I did reading up on it and so forth, and found that it was a German tradition. And so I talked to the pastor, our pastor at that time, and we thought, well, that's a wonderful idea to bring that back. So that's what I started to do, is I played the chimes, just one chime during those 3 times in the Lord's Prayer. And then we decided, well, let's do the bell again, because what it's about is it has to do with the monks, and in the monastery, they would ring the bell when they would do the Lord's Prayer, so that the people out and about in the village and surrounding areas and so forth would know when they were saying the Lord's Prayer, and could say the Lord's Prayer along with them, and know where they were at during the Lord's Prayer. I'm just kind of talking and just kind of pointing my phone in no particular area. Here's the organ close up and personal. So we started to do that, and so we wanted to get the word out to the people, whoever happens to be out in the field. I mean, we still have farmers out in the field and so forth. Sure, now they're on tractors and so forth, so maybe they can't hear the bell. But the whole point is we wanted to start that tradition again. So in 2013, we started that tradition again, and did a news article on it so that people would know that we're doing it and why. Okay, so I'm just kind of showing you the organ, and when I'm sitting here, what I see. So I can see it's nice. I really like that the organ is not in the front of the church. I know I have played in churches where the organ is in the front of the church and you face the congregation. I have been in churches where the organ is at the front of the church and you have your back to the congregation, and then you need a mirror to see what's going on behind you. I really like that the organ is here, up above everyone. I can look, I can see how many people there are, so that helps me to determine for communion how many verses maybe I'll have to play for the hymn, or like now when we play an interlude during communion, you know, how long the interlude will need to be. It's good for weddings, for funerals, for different ceremonies and so forth. I can see, for instance, when the bridesmaids, how far up they are, all that kind of stuff. It's really nice to have this eagle eye view. All right, well, I guess that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the tour of our church. And like I said, I will do a separate video for the pipe room. All right, well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again.